After quite the lengthy live performance drought, we now have some very solid evidence that the Vultures listening experiences are on the verge of being brought back, with the very high possibility of brand new music getting debuted. So starting things off, let's dive into and break down everything suggesting Kanye is going to host another Vultures live show very soon. Yesterday morning, we got a full article from Rolling Stone Korea that both confirms and sheds a ton of new light on what exactly has been going on overseas with Aus Taylor. We've seen Aus pop up in Japan with the rest of the Yeezy crew, but he's also made his way to both Taiwan and South Korea to scout potential concert venues with Jake Kasheta, who has worked on some of Kanye's live events in the past. In Taiwan, he posted pictures at Rakuten Taoyuan Stadium, and according to the Rolling Stone article, he was spotted in the Gangnam and Ilsan areas in South Korea and toured both the Incheon and Goyang stadiums while also inquiring about those venues' event schedules. It's important to note here that Jake Kasheta posted some photos with Aus and the head of Channel Candy, which is a Korean event promoting agency that has been dropping not so subtle hints via Instagram over the past few days. Channel Candy posted stories with just a 1 on them, and when questioned further about it, they played into fans suggesting the 1 could be related to Kanye, and even liked a message of a fan asking if a Ye event would be Vultures 1 and Vultures 2. Along with this, they've previously posted a blank story with the date of August 23rd, 2024, which could very well be the currently planned date for an upcoming Vultures show. Okay, but back to the Rolling Stone article, it actually goes on to divulge a ton more about what will actually be happening in Korea, including mentioning that discussions are underway to open a Yeezy pop-up store. The article notes that according to industry officials, Kanye's performance in Korea is likely to take place as early as this year, although the specific schedule or location has not yet been officially announced. Towards the end of the article, they write that it is known that performance planners and public relations agency officials are currently making final adjustments ahead of the official announcement, and that specific information about the performance will be released soon. So essentially, this is 100% guaranteed confirmation that a Vultures listening experience is going to be held somewhere in South Korea, potentially in the Gangnam or Ilsan regions, as mentioned earlier in the article, with it likely being spearheaded by Aus Taylor, Jake Kasheta, and Channel Candy, who have all been frequently posting throughout the week. But it's also important to note that the duo of Aus and Jake also visited Taiwan as well as Korea, which could mean that a second show is also being planned to take place there. I do still think that a performance in Japan is not out of the question either, and if I had to guess, I would say the current plan is to host a concert in Japan, Korea, and Taiwan, and possibly other Asian locations. The big question for me and a lot of fans really is the timeline here. Like, a Korea show could take place as early as the end of this month or as late as maybe August, like we saw with Channel Candy hinting at previously. The fact that this article just came out is a huge sign that discussions are probably in the final stages, which does bode well for a Vultures experience sooner rather than later, and I'm hoping that because Kanye is now working with 33 and West, we won't get a repeat of the April Vultures 2 and Saqqara Pyramid Show disasters. Yesterday, we also saw Kanye and Ty do their first pseudo live performance together since the absolute atrocity that was Rolling Loud back in March at a professional Japanese women's wrestling event. Apparently, this particular night of women's wrestling was also some sort of Alexander Wang show called Wang Mania that frequently features artists performing, which is exactly what Ye and Ty did, with them making a surprise appearance, but unfortunately only doing Carnival. I'm a little sad that they only did Carnival, but it looks like it is mainly about the wrestling, and Ye and Tai were only there to do a short guest appearance, so they likely just didn't have the time to be able to do some new material like maybe Field Trip. Regardless though, I do think it's significant that Kanye got up in front of a crowd, albeit a small crowd, to do his little performance routine for even just one song, considering he hasn't made any attempt to do so since March. This is clearly another strong indication that the duo is gearing up to take the stage at a major stadium level event very soon, which, like we found out from Rolling Stone, will no doubt be taking place in Korea. And finally, we got some pretty cool pieces of Donda 2 history leaked yesterday by Lewitt, with those being a pair of phone voice memo recordings of Kanye's 8 a.m. meetings. Apparently, during Donda 2's development in January and February, Kanye would routinely hold meetings with his engineers and producers at 8 a.m., where he would listen through artist references and alternate versions of songs, making notes on what he liked and didn't like about each one. Thanks to Lewitt, we now have full recordings of two 8 a.m. meetings that took place on February 11th and 12th. During the February 11th 8 a.m. meeting, Kanye listens through a version of Too Easy that contains a full choir and orchestral outro that was never used in any other version of the song to my knowledge, and this sounds absolutely heavenly. These recordings are probably some of the best hard evidence of how Kanye works and develops music, and it's also really neat to see this early developmental period for Donda 2, considering Kanye would be aiming to have the album finished and ready to drop around 10 days from when these two voice memo recordings occurred. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and let me know down in the comments if you think this Korea Vultures show will actually end up happening.